So, today we're going to dive into a really weird puzzle, one that gets right to the heart of what it means to be creative. We've got a hero who saves the universe, and some ideas borrowed from, believe it or not, some of the most out there art you can imagine. All right, let's just jump right in. On the left, you've got this super dense academic take on avant-garde film. I mean, just reading it feels like homework, right? And then on the right, Mr. Mustard saves the entire universe. It's so simple, it's almost funny. So, how in the world did these two things connect? What could they possibly have in common? And that really gets to the core of what we're talking about today. I mean, when you see something that looks this simple, or maybe even repetitive, what's your first thought? A lot of us would probably just say, the writers are being lazy. But what if it's not laziness at all? What if something way more radical is happening here? Let's dig in and find out. Okay, first up, the puzzle of Mr. Mustard. Let's look at the evidence. Our main guy is this character, Mr. Mustard, and he shows up in a few creative prompts that, well, they take a pretty strange turn. So check out this progression, because it's a little jarring. We start super simple. Mr. Mustard saves the universe with a gadget. Okay, fine. Then it gets a bit more fleshed out, like a basic movie idea. Whimsical town, trip to space, you get it. But then, bam, step 3 completely throws a curveball. Suddenly, he's this complex Afrofuturist hero fighting antibiotic night-nights. The big question is why? Why this huge, weird jump? Are they just spinning their wheels, or is there a method to this madness? All right, so to figure out what's going on with Mr. Mustard, we have to take a little detour. We're going to borrow a few ideas from a world that seems, completely different, avant-garde art from before the 80s. Now, I know that sounds super intimidating, but stick with me. The ideas themselves are actually pretty brilliant, and they're going to unlock this whole puzzle for us. Okay, tool number 1, process as product. Think about it. Usually when you see a painting or watch a movie, you only see the final polished thing, right? The messy, boring, repetitive stuff. The process is hidden. Well, these artists flipped that completely on its head. They said, no, the making of the art, the labor, the repetition, that's the actual artwork. The journey itself becomes the destination. Our next tool is what we're calling the material event. Here, the medium is the message, literally. The physical stuff the art is made from isn't just there to hold an idea, it is the idea. And the perfect example is Stan Brockage's Moth Light. This is wild. He didn't get a camera and film some moths. No, he took actual moth wings, flower petals, and pressed them directly onto the film strip. The physical material is the movie. How cool is that? And our final tool from the avant-garde toolkit is repetition with difference. This one is huge because it goes right after that idea that repetition is lazy. Think about it. In this film, Sailboat, you just see a sailboat passing by, over and over again. But here's the trick. It's never the exact same image. Each time it loops, there's a small change. It makes you stop thinking about a sailboat in general and start really looking at this specific sailboat in this specific moment. All right, section 3, deconstructing a hero. So now we've got our new toolkit, right? Process as product, material event, and repetition with difference. Let's go back to Mr. Mustard and see what happens when we look at him through this new lens. So remember this one? Mr. Mustard rescues the entire universe. It's fine. It's the most basic hero story you could possibly imagine. It's almost like a placeholder, It tells you the whole story, but at the same time, it tells you absolutely nothing. It feels like it's almost actively avoiding being a real story. Okay, so here's the question. Is that just lazy writing? Or could it be what some of these art folks call a denied event? It's like Andy Warhol's famous film Sleep, which is literally just hours of a guy sleeping. The whole point isn't to tell you a thrilling story. The point is to deny you a story. So what if this Mr. Mustard prompt isn't a bad story? What if it's a deliberate rejection of storytelling itself? And that brings us to these 3 Afrofuturist prompts. When you first glance at them, they feel, well, pretty much the same. You've got Mr. Mustard, you've got this cosmic Africa concept, and you have these antibiotic night-nights. This is where you'd really start to think, okay, now they're just being lazy. Why are they just writing the same prompt 3 times? But hold on, let's look a little closer. They're not copies, they're variations. In one version, Africa becomes a guardian beast made of textiles and beadwork. In the next, Mr. Mustard is channeling a glowing equatorial line made of constellations. See? He activates a translator engine in one,
But in the other, he creates a harmonic shockwave. The building blocks are the same, but they're being snapped together in totally different ways every single time. See? This isn't just copying and pasting. This is exactly that idea we talked about. Repetition with difference. It's the Sailboat movie all over again. Each one of these prompts is a new take, a new angle on this same core idea. It's not about finding the one right version. It's about exploring all the amazing possibilities of this hero. Okay, let's land this plane. Section 4, lazy or radical? It's time to go back to that original question and finally deliver a verdict on Mr. Mustard. What's so cool about this is how these avant-garde artists would take something that looks like a total flaw or just something plain boring and turn it into the main event. Like in the film Wavelength, the camera just zooms across a room and completely ignores a dead body on the floor. Or in Vertical Roll, where the artist takes that annoying TV glitch where the screen keeps rolling and makes it the entire point of the piece. They're finding the art in the stuff we'd normally edit out. And this is where it all clicks. What if we apply that exact same logic to our friend Mr. Mustard? All of a sudden, everything that looked lazy before now looks like a deliberate, creative choice. That super generic hero story, that's not lazy, that's a denied event. That simple, cliché movie plot, that's a structural framework. And those 3 nearly identical prompts, that's a powerful exploration using repetition with difference. And here's the thing, this isn't just some weird, isolated case with Mr. Mustard. This way of thinking, of iterating and exploring an idea from multiple angles, it shows up elsewhere. For instance, there's this other series about telepathic robots with these really evocative titles. Each one is just a different door into the same house. This isn't a bug in the creative process, it's a feature. It's how ideas get explored. And this is the whole point. This completely changes the question we should be asking. It's no longer, is this lazy? The real question becomes, what do we learn by actually getting to see the messy process? It shifts our perspective entirely. We're no longer judging a finished product. We're witnessing the work in progress. The process becomes the product. And honestly, that one little shift in how you look at it, it changes absolutely everything. So I want to leave you with this final question. The next time you see the behind the scenes, the rough draft, the repeated ideas, the stuff that looks kind of simple or even lazy, ask yourself this. Are you just seeing a flaw that should have been polished away? Or are you actually seeing the art itself? Thanks for diving into this with me.